Hello everyone. As Nepal prepares to play its second World Cup, we are today joined by a very special person, man behind the success of Nepali cricket in the last 1.5 years, and a lot more to come as well. Let me welcome Mr. Monty Desai, head coach of Nepal national cricket team. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
A very special moment playing World Cup for Nepal and leading as a head coach first for you. How special is it that it's coming from Nepal?
Yeah, I mean, for my personal milestones as well, it's dream come true for sure. I think I would still like to put it from perspective of 12th man. I'm humbled with this on this journey, and this dream come true is for everyone out here.
We've been playing T20 in last 4 months, a lot of matches, a lot of training camps, home and away. In preparation side of things, how satisfied you are that we're having such matches and in different scenarios?
Given the skills, the abilities that our players possess, and obviously we had to work towards the Asia Cup qualifiers earlier on. So the games that we played at home and then home conditions we were always aware of. But after playing in TU, heading into Gujarat, where we deliberately came across surfaces, the surfaces were prepared where you had lateral movement. And that was the area where I was very mindful because of my experience with the team in 50 overs qualifiers last year in Zimbabwe, certain times when we were tested. So I would say keeping that also in mind, and then the ups and downs of expectations. Heading into the World Cup, I feel with the team that we have picked up, we are well prepared.
As an associate nation, you don't get big teams coming up, playing at home, but we had Ireland A and West Indies A, which had fair amount of senior players as well. How important is it as an associate nation to have this kind of preparation?
Yeah, see, my past experience of associate nations has been that you only get pockets of good cricket. But if we look at this year, 2024 January PM Cup, leading into our international fixtures, where we have constantly played cricket, ODIs and then T20 very specifically, focused towards World Cup. It has a huge importance because that allows you to keep on testing your skills in competitive environment. And having a very strong side like West Indies A, I'm very grateful. We know the amount of communication which happened, and email exchanges and phone calls and group calls. So it definitely has left an impact for our team, and I am hoping that the confidence which some individuals have built, especially the last game as well, which we won yesterday, I hope that confidence rubs off and they take that confidence into the tournament, the T20 World Cup.
If you look at our journey for past few months, we had a rough patch in the ACC Premier Cup, which ultimately led us to losing that Asia Cup spot. How tough was it to deal with that couple of matches?
I mean, like I have said before as well, the players were hurt. I mean, I obviously look at their journey because it is tough. Every team which comes out there, they have the same dream to qualify for the Asia Cup. 10 odd teams will turn up out there, they have the same dream. And we knew that we will be up against some of the teams who will try to plan well, prepare well, and 10 a.m. start where we needed to be a little more tight with our approach. It didn't happen. So it was definitely tough, but I think it was also an eye-opener that we cannot take any game lightly. So all the players had to remember that once they have given the roles, they need to be switched on for those roles, so that once the roles are executed, you get the results.
So if you look at our region, UAE, Oman, Hong Kong are on level with us. We have 3 of us have ODI status, but there are no different team, even Saudi, Bahrain or Kuwait in T20. If you look at 2023, it was a good year for us. We had everything as per what we wanted. But it's not easy continuing that momentum every time, isn't it?
I agree. I mean, they look at from their perspective. These players who probably must have had dreams to represent their own countries. Then they were, I would obviously say, they were adopted by these countries where they got an opportunity to chase their dreams. They will also be hungry. They obviously must have got inspired through whatever our boys put up last year, and they must have also worked hard. So one ball battle doesn't belong to any one person. It doesn't belong, the victories doesn't belong to any one team. So when two players are competing together, they obviously want to compete and win those battles for their teams, for themselves. And these are the teams which will always be tough. We know that. So the conversation which always is there in our dressing room is that we can never relax. We are at work all the time on the field, and we want to enjoy that work as well. So the message is also always that let us be proactive, let us be energetic, let us always look after each other. So once you do all these things properly, even after that, if you don't get results, there are no regrets. But yeah, disappointments will be there that you could have crossed the line. You could have been a little more proactive about certain things. But now we have kept the disappointment behind, and we just focus on what we can present in the World Cup.
You talked about the players after the League 2 journey. You saw PM Cup where a lot of players, you got to watch them up close, and we had a bigger player pool with Nepali coming in as well. So right now, how satisfied are you with the player pool that you have to choose from?
It's marching forward, but I would not say that I'm satisfied fully, because we need a lot more development programs as well. At the moment, we played competitive games. The A team also played competitive games, but now I need to see, when we are away, what are the kind of programs that we run over here with the formation of A team with few coaches been identified, so that when the players come in the national side, they don't lack certain areas. I think in associate cricket, the challenge is also that we have to develop their skills while we compete. And that, we also know that we will come across superior skills. The teams that we are playing against in World Cup are the teams who have got a lot more experience, because they play at the highest level a lot more regularly. And they keep working towards enhancing their skills as well. So we also keep using pocket windows to do that. But I think I will be looking forward to how many more programs we put up over here, so that our national side, not just A team, also in the provinces, so that next year again when we see PM Cup also, it's a lot more competitive.
Not just about the players, but even if you look at the backroom staff, you had Basant Guru from start, Nandan sir came in, now Roddy has joined in, you have Abdul and Vikram regularly working behind, even Raman. How do you see the team growing up, even in your side of things?
I mean, this is the perfect model, I would say. This is a perfect model where you have a professional set of coaching group, training group, medical team, analytical team in place, which can then facilitate the players in the right way, because you're looking at developing them constantly, regularly. It has helped our national team for sure. They all are unique. They bring in certain set skills. They have helped me to ensure that I'm not blind spotted to any part of whatever we are planning. And it helps, because like you said, Basant brings in a lot of energy, he brings in a lot of local knowledge. Coach Nandan brings in, he obviously also is an educator back home in India. So he brings in a lot of organized way of putting certain things in place, especially plans. Coach Roddy, I worked with him in West Indies for 3 years, so I know that wealth of wisdom that he brings in. And I think so far it has helped, because the bowling group has started thinking a lot more on their own. At the same time, the entire group, in terms of batting, bowling or fielding, we talk about, it's falling in place. Having said that, we know that we have a daunting task going into the World Cup, but we have that mindset as well, where we want to make sure that we build and we bring our brand to the World Cup.
If you look at the World Cup squad, 3 players from the qualifiers are not in the team, but 3 new players have got a chance to show their talent in the highest level. How tough was it to select the 15 out of the players of high level?
That is one thing which I never like. When it's you break few people's heart, and at the same time you make few people celebrate their selection. It's never easy, but at the same time, I think given the role, given the position that you are in, you are always thinking about the nation, and you're always thinking about which is the right team for the combination that we're looking for to head into the World Cup. So we know that how we had to handle that. It was not easy, but at the same time, I'm very grateful to the 4 reserved players, Bibek, Binod, Akash, and was
Lokesh.
Huh?
Lokesh.
Lokesh. Like I said, it's not easy. So all these four players have professionally handled themselves, because getting a sad news in middle of a series and then to still stay around with the team, and they have handled it very professionally, and I feel very proud of it. That is one step forward for an associate team to bring in professionalism. They have sense of innocence and they express themselves, and I am always happy to listen to them in whatever way they express, and I also learn from them. But I think they have embraced professionalism, which I am happy about.
If you look at the squad, we feel that we've added one extra bowler into the team. Is the decision being made because we have bowlers who can bat as well, like Sompalkar and Kamal, even Pratish? Is that the idea behind, or is there something else that the team sees?
Yeah, so again, the backroom staff, especially the coaching group, had a lot of discussions around where we are heading. And Roddy and I obviously have first-hand experience of that side of the world, having worked in West Indies and then also know the surfaces in Florida. Never been to Dallas, so I don't know about that part. But we expect that, those kind of similar conditions that we are working in, we needed to get an extra spinner as well in the team. And I think Sagar stepped up nicely in the opportunities which he got. At the same time, like you said, bowling group who can bat was in our mind as well, so that we bank them. We basically bank on them for a couple of hits, but more importantly, we depend on them for the skills they to present with the ball to win us phases, power play and the death. I think we have improved slowly in the death. That was one of the concern areas. I wouldn't say it's completely, we have got it right, but it's an ongoing process. We always believed in a process. We have trusted each other in everything that we do, and it's an ongoing process.
Talking specifically about the World Cup, 4th June, Texas, Netherlands, the team we have faced time and again and even got results against them. How important is that match going to be to set the tone going forward?
Very important. That will set the momentum, and we are aware of it. We also know that Netherlands is a side which consistently has got to the World Cup and does well. They did create few upsets in 50 overs game World Cup last year. So, and they possess a proper balanced side with skills as well. So it's going to be skill versus skill challenge. It's going to be the mindset which team brings in, and we have been building towards it. So I am believing that the players that we have picked, the roles that we have defined, we deep dive into that, we show that hunger, we should be able to cross the line.
On 11th in Florida, we play Sri Lanka, one of the finest in short format, and that bowling attack they possess, how tough is it going to be for our batters?
Our mentality is to walk into the unknowns. We have never played Sri Lanka, but we will be planning certain things from footages and whatever you've seen about them. But this is where the mentality of walking into the unknowns with excitement comes in. So we will look forward to that challenge as well.
Then we go to St. Vincent, 14th South Africa, a team with devastating batters, equally impressive bowlers. This is the challenge we're looking forward to compete against the best, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. From associate leagues, the most important motivation for anyone will be to get qualified for higher leagues. I mean, World Cup is a big platform. The biggest motivation for us is to investigate and find out how good we are at the highest level. And I think the other big motivation will be to present our superior fitness, that's the way I look at it, and our fielding, which is a sixth bowler. So if you can present that as well against teams like South Africa, it will be wonderful. I'm excited about it.
On 16th, we play Bangladesh, and if you look back to the 2014 World Cup, we were playing Bangladesh in the last group game, and we had a chance to go through if we beat them. This time around, we're playing Bangladesh in the last group game. How hopeful you are of having similar circumstances in the last game?
Again, we'll have to take one game at a time. For me, at the moment, the complete focus is towards the opening game against Netherlands. Once we are able to get the desired results which we are looking forward to, then we can think forward. But yes, potentially, I mean, I don't think people are giving us any chance. I'll be very frank about it. So there is no pressure on us I mean, there is pressure on us of expectations of the Nepali fans, and that is always there. I know that they dream big, and why not? We all should dream big. At the starting line, everyone starts at in the same position. But for me, at the moment, the focus is the first game. If we get the right things in place in terms of now what we prepare for heading into states, we obviously know that core 11 and the roles are in place. Once we get that result, the momentum which we get should help us to create some upsets.
We're talking about the World Cup, the pinnacle for players, teams, coaches, even the fans. How different has been the mentality since the qualification? Have you seen what change have you seen in the players?
I think the acceptance that where we stand and what are the areas that we need to keep working on. I know that not everything is on display at the moment, but as far as training is concerned, if I give an example of facing 140, 145 speed fast bowlers of opponents, to negate them in terms of areas that you target, the cuts, the pulls. Same way for the bowlers, the Yorker development versus not being predictable. So if you can have a slow ball in that as well, or back of the hand, spinners using the crease. So there is an acceptance of the areas that we need to keep working on. And I think last 1 year has been the focus was always about this T20 World Cup. Not 1 year, I would say 6 months, because until November is when we were competing competing for qualifying for the World Cup. So after that, the plans were put in place, and we had to also look out for our ODI cycle this year. So bit of shift here and there, but then the entire focus was always about the World Cup.
Along with your arrival, we had Rohit leading the national team, and someone you have known for a long time since his age group days. If you go back, did you see Rohit as a leader back then, or do you feel that the situation has grown him up as this kind of leader?
I mean, I saw him as a young captain when I came here. I obviously had the curiosity that how will he build himself as a leader. I think so far he has handled all the pressures very well. He's been very honest about things. He's just presented Rohit Podal, not no one else. But his curiosity to learn from successful leaders, not just from cricket, from other sectors as well, I think sets him apart, because we have a lot of conversations around not captainship but more about leadership. And the quality which a leader has to bring in, I think he's in the right direction. He has earned a lot of respect in the team. I think, again, he was hurt the most. I've said this as well before. He was hurt the most when we didn't qualify for the Asia Cup. And I can see how he presented that hurt in display of performance against West Indies A.
It was similar scenes like we had West Indies A in the League 2, the last 2 series, home series, and that I think that brought back the momentum in between the fans, the results that got us to the ODI nation, to the qualifiers. Even now we see team working hard, everything they can, but the success is not guaranteed, because even when we were losing, the team was working behind, right? So how do you balance this, getting success and working things behind?
See, the definition of success for everyone is so different. I mean, I don't look at only victories as success. I look at what is done in phases of the game, and that for me is success. Yes, I mean, if you are talking purely about victories, even in that I would say we have been in the fight. I don't think we have lost all the games. We have lost few games very closely in last overs. Yes, few games we have not turned up. That is also part of the journey. Acceptance, failure also teaches you so much. And if people say that they have learned everything, then the life has nothing left. I think learning never stops, and we obviously bring in the champion mindset when we head into any battles. But the learner's journey is equally important. You're right about it, that the balance of life is all about that. So we take the losses also I would say in a very matured way. And the maturity is something which I'm looking forward to this team.
Talking about the fans who are part of our journey and we're going to face the world's best, what would be your suggestion to the fans to manage their expectation, or let's say limit their expectation on what team does in terms of result?
Can I say something very frankly?
Yeah.
Because of the players, I have come to know that there are a lot of news which happens, and I would urge our innocent fans to trust the right channels, to trust the right news, because there are many who probably now make money from running YouTube channels and Facebook pages and things like that. Nothing wrong, because they also have to make their own money. But your sentiments, I think the fans, your sentiments, we connect to your sentiments. And I think if you can rationalize things in an appropriate way, use your own intelligence, understand that patience and perseverance is equally important. It is only a one-year-old story, and we are coming across test nations who have history of 50 years, 100 years of cricket. I think what is exciting for me is that the journey is with some accolades, some performances, some records broken at different levels. But we are very mindful about how we want to build this story. And we obviously request all the time, and we are looking forward to the encouragement and support of the fans. Not for myself, not for the management, but for these young dreams, the players.
We heard that the tickets for the first match in Texas was sold out within minutes, the game against Netherlands, and a lot of demand is still there, but the stadium is out full, and we know our 12 men, we know how they support everywhere we go. How special is it to have such support in every place you go, and more than the home side, it's the Nepal fans that the away team looks forward to?
Undefinable. It obviously makes me emotional, because I just think about that they might have their own important work to do, so many other tasks or responsibilities in their own personal life. But there is one day they leave about everything and they come to support these young dreams. And in everywhere where we have been to, whatever numbers of Nepalis are there, they turn up. We saw it in Gujarat as well, frankly, when they came in big buses out there to support this team. So when you say this, that in Dallas also, that kind of crowd we are expecting, it excites us. So we are obviously very, very grateful to our 12th men, the fans, all around the world.
The 2014 World Cup, that changed the whole scenario of Nepalese cricket. So there was craze for cricket, but not as what it used to be. This 2024 World Cup, what do you expect it will make impact, not just inside the field, but off the field? What are you expecting this will send the message?
Growth. Growth is the most important thing. I think, again, 7-year-old, 8-year-old kids that I've seen in TU who come to watch the game, probably they already have heroes. Just the way our players said that, like Kushal Malla, he was inspired from 2014 World Cup. Rohit Podal, they were inspired from 2014 World Cup. I'm sure many others, but using these two as an example. But at the same time, 7-year-old, 9-year-old kids who have seen at TU, look at these players as their heroes. I'm hoping that all this expands into a proper cricket nation in this 7 provinces. I've been to one, and it excites me that how much talent must be there in different provinces. So growth is the most important thing I'm looking forward to from this World Cup. So whatever impact which we leave out there, I think it should build our brand, and we have always spoken that we are fierce competitors. We have always mentioned that in a dressing room that there is a deep desire, drive to build our brand, and we know that we have to respect this opportunity.
We're playing the World Cup in US and Caribbean, that you've been part of working with the West Indies as well. How's the conditions? Because we've played home and away, but we struggle away at most of the times.
Right.
So how do you see our team being able to compete and putting our best efforts in that environment?
I think there is a volume of experience in place as well. Players like Rohit Podal, Dipendra Airi, Kushal Burthal, Asif Sheikh, Sompal Kami, KC Karan, the core group of people have been around for a while now, and they have understood the challenges that they have faced in the past in away games. So my anticipation and expectation is that they'll be up for it. Yes, we know that we have to constantly adapt and adjust to these conditions. So again, the backroom staff, all the coaches have been addressing this together, and we have been also putting a message across that we need to be more responsible in these battles that we come across. There is also another message which is there, that we should always think and then act. So I am hoping that all that will come into play in those one ball battles, in those phases, in those games.
While playing the World Cup, the players, it's an opportunity for them to showcase themselves in this global industry of franchise leagues. And Rohit Porter's performance has grabbed some headlines in Caribbean. In social media, we can see the fans praising Rohit Porter. But if you look at our team, there are many match winners, there are many talents who can make their name in franchise leagues. How big of an opportunity is this, the global stage, to showcase their talent?
Talent is there. Presenting skills is going to be the most important thing. And under pressure, when you present skills, you get more respect. And these leagues will be looking forward to that. Are they capable to step up to those leagues that you're talking about, where most established players come and compete? And we know that we are still associate. For me, that is the other thing. You know, again, pressure is privilege. I will speak about that too. I'm expecting that now they will use all the experience, all the training, all the hard work which was in place, the process which I keep talking about, the thought process, and then the doing, the act in those one ball battles, and earn some respect.
One ball battles, as you say, the fans have been backing this, the arbitration, the one ball battles all the time. Any final words you have for the fans ahead of you travel to World Cup today?
If you love this game unconditionally, then love these young teams unconditionally. I can promise you, whatever I've seen in 15 months, none of these players have taken anything lightly. They work hard. They laugh, and you might feel that, you know, they might be taking certain things lightly, but they laugh to hide their pain. Okay, they joke around to hide their pain. But I have seen them very closely. They all take everything very seriously in the happy dressing room. We do have a lot of uncomfortable conversations in the happy dressing room, so nothing is taken lightly. We have addressed them that with their innocence, we now look forward to professionalism. So with our fans, I also expect them to remain professional in their expectations and support these young troops.
Thank you for your time, Coach, and the magical run that we had. I hope that goes on, and may we get the success and may the team get what they deserve in the US and Caribbean. Thank you very much.
I definitely believe that this story is going to get bigger.